and we can configure external file. And when you are defining embedded, so some points we learned, we can embed in head section, we can embed in the body section. So, and you can even keep outside HTML, but not recommended for that. So, but it will be faster in appearance, behavior. And we discussed another about the MIME type. So how you configure and define the MIME type. So for styles, and we discussed about the media type for the styles. And yesterday we learned one more point. We can use files, external files dot CSS. So we can create a separate style sheet and link that. And we learned about a concept called minification. Minification is a technique of reducing the file size. So by writing the logic in such a way that so the functionality will be same, but size will be reduced, number of lines will be reduced. Means unnecessary spaces and the lengthy logic is converted into a shorter format, and we use that. And for that, actually, so many softwares will be there. You can download and use them. For example, yesterday I showed you in the project that we were working. Right. So yesterday we have created a style sheet, and in this style sheet, you have a styles folder. So in that, I showed you an example of how you can minify by using some online tools. I will delete this minified file. I will delete that minified file. Okay, so I have the actual CSS file configured and defined. So I have the actual CSS file configured and defined. Now you can go online. Yesterday I showed you. In my computer, I have a software called Smallify. Smallify is a minifier software. So it can be used for CSS and JavaScript also. So minifying is done for CSS and JavaScript files. And this Smallifier is a software. So you can see in my computer, in my software backups, I have a Smallify. This is Smallify. It's a small tool actually. So Smallify is a small tool. This is a small tool. Just so this tool, every tool have different behavior. Some tools will ask you to copy your code that you want to minify. Some tools ask you to upload your file that you want to minify. Some tools will ask to upload the folder that you want to minify. That means that contains all your files. So here this Smallify asks for folder. So I have to open this styles folder, right click on styles and open in File Explorer. Open in File Explorer. And you see this is the styles folder. In that styles folder, actually, I have only heading.css. I have heading.css. I will open this Smallify software. I will drag and drop that folder into this. And I will click on Minify Now button. Then automatically, this is going to generate a minified file. And you can see that in the styles, automatically the minified file is added. And when you look at the minified code, the code is in a short form. So yesterday I showed you a technique of open any website. So we have websites online, copy the code, compress it, come back, create a new file and paste that code, and the new file can be the minified file. So the actual file is heading.css, suppose. The minified file will be like heading.min.css. Remember, min is not an extension. Min is just to tell us that it is minified. So you can have a different name also. So min is not extension. Don't think that min is extension. Extension is CSS only. That means it is also CSS file, but it is to tell us that it is a compressed code. Now the questions. So in many times the question asked is, can we do changes? Can we do changes in the minified file? Can we modify the minified file? That is the question. Can we modify the minified file directly? So the question is, can we modify the minified file? So we can modify the minified file. So because it is a CSS file, you can directly make changes in the minified file, no problem. So, but it is not recommended. Why? Because if you are making changes in the minified file, so make sure that you are not disturbing the minified tradition. So minified approach, you also write in a shortcut way. Again, if you are writing in a lengthy way, that's no use of minification. So it is always recommended that if any changes happen, then do the changes in the actual file and minify it again. Don't try to edit the minified file directly. It is possible, but don't do that. Another question. So I told you that when to use the minified file. Remember the point, when to use the minified file. I told you a point, when to use the minified file. We discussed about a point. So minified file, so the actual source file is used in development, yes. And the minified file is used in production. Production means when we are making it live. Why we don't prefer using minified file in development? Because if you try to use the minified file in development, because of compressed logic, it will find the errors, but it cannot tell exactly where error occurred. So this will be an issue for developer, because developer, when he is designing, he must know the errors and he must also know the error locations correctly. If error locations and errors are not known correctly, then he can't build properly. So at production level, that means finally it is finished. So you don't, because it is complete production ready, so error free. So you don't need to check errors at production level. So then finally we have to publish it. In that case, so we have to use this minified files, right? So the actual file will be in development and the minified will be the production. Right? These two options are important. These are all the basic things you need to understand. One more point is, while working with CSS, so you can understand one more option. When you are dealing with CSS, one more important option is, so we regularly come with a concept called CDN. CDN is actually content delivery network. Content delivery network. CDN is content delivery network, CDN. This is very common when we are using external files. Content delivery network is nothing but actually what happens is sometimes, so when you are working in real world projects, even generally while practicing also many times, here suppose we have in real world development actually. So this is entire software development happens in real world development. Entire software development happens in 4 servers. So 4 servers. We usually have a sandbox server, and we have a development, so development server. So, and we have a quality server, and we have a production server. So in real-time development, actually, entire application is built in these 4 servers actually. Sandbox server we also call as golden server. Sandbox server is also called as golden server. Actually, this is the server where we keep all the resources, and we access the resources and use from this in the development server. In the development server, we build the application. Application is built in development server. After building the application, so we build application in development server, but the library, whatever required for that application, is not present in this server. It is coming from another server. What is advantage here is, so here there can be multiple applications. These resources are shared to several applications. After development, that application will go to, the application will go to quality. And from quality, it will be tested. After that, it will go to production. And our client will be given access to the production. Our client will be in quality, testing will happen. After that, it is moved to production. So the production server is given to the client. So client will start using our application from the production server. He will start using the application from the production server. Now the concept here is, how your resources are available to several applications. That means what we do is we keep all our resources in a separate server. And from that server, user can access the resources and use the resources on his computer. You have so many options for that. So now the point is you can access that. Even data, all these also provided. For example, even data, everything is also provided. So now the point is resources are not present in your computer. You have to access from another location and use. So the CSS files are also same actually. We call this as CDN, Content Delivery Network. That means this is going to deliver the content to different applications. That means now the CSS file is not present in your project. It is present in some remote server. We have to access from that remote server and we have to use that here. We have to access from a remote server and we have to access it here. So it's present in some other location. So this is very frequently done. So this is called CDN. So what is advantage? What is drawback? Advantage, drawback, both will be there. Actually, the advantage is nothing but the advantage is if you are not downloading, you are not having the CSS file in your project. It is present somewhere else and we are accessing it. The advantage is it will save the space of your project. That means all your CSS files are not present in your project location. It will be lightweight. Application will be lightweight because the CSS file required, the CSS files required for your project are not in your project. So space is saved. It is coming from another server and you can access and use it from there. So what is drawback is, it's good because you can use in any project. What is drawback is nothing but, so every time it has to come from that server. It will take some time to load because if it has to come from some other location, it will take some time to load. Not only that, if due to any technical reason, this server is not responding for a long time. If it is not responding, due to any technical reason, server is not responding, then what will happen is the content is not delivered to you. That means your page is loaded, but you are waiting for effects to come. So that becomes a problem. However, these days we are working on a cloud technology. However, these days we are in the cloud service technologies. In cloud, this will not be a big issue because people are providing cloud service. We are paying for cloud service. So that's the reason doesn't become a big issue now. So it's okay. Now we can expect that 24-hour servers will be running. There will be no issue in the servers. So because we are paying for that, they maintain properly. So because of cloud environment these days, that doesn't become a big issue. But in large scale applications, so this is one regularly used option because we don't have resources in our computer. We are accessing from some other location. For example, I will show you a simple point. For example, suppose here I have this CSS. So this is present in my project location. So I am accessing that from my folders and I am accessing it. It may be some other location, some other project. Just roughly, I will show you. You don't need to try that because CDNs you will use later while working with the Bootstrap and all. You will see that. Initially, see, in my computer, I have a project on my local server. Somewhere else, I have a project. I have a location called CDN. I have CDN. So let me show you here. In this CDN, I have explored this styles. In that heading is there. Okay. So see, I have some other project running on my server. So I have some other project running on server. There I have some styles. You see here, this is the effects. So currently we don't have any effects. So what I'm doing now, so link href is equal to, I am defining http:// so localhost. In that I have a project location CDN. In that we have styles. In that styles I have heading.css. I'm accessing that here. That means we are accessing, technically we are accessing from this particular location, When you are accessing from this particular location, so that means it is not accessing from the current project, it is coming from somewhere else. This is CDN. So that is what the concept of CDN. So the CDN access from some other location and uses from another location. Now, when I run this, you can see that the effects are working fine. So they are not here. They are coming from some other resource location. So this is what actually CDN, and you will come across with this CDN regularly. So later when you are dealing with styles, scripts and all, you will come across with the concept of CDN. So that means what is advantage is, so you are saving the space of your project. You are, and not only that, these styles are accessed and used across several projects. Several projects can use this. And you can so make changes in the CDN library. It will affect everywhere. It will affect everywhere. But drawbacks also will be there. Drawback is, so because it has to load from server, it will take some time. And sometimes if server is not responding, the styles will not come. We have to wait for that. These are all the issues with the CDN. So when you are working with JavaScript or when you are working with CSS, you will come across with this concept of CDN, right? So technically, that is the CDN, Content Delivery Network. So while working with CSS, you have to know all these options. I hope everyone is clear about minification, about CSS external style sheet, right? Yes. So initially, everyone is clear. So here defined for that, right? Now, once you are clear with this, so you are clear with the three techniques: inline technique, embedded technique, and external file. So inline, embedded, and external file. Understood all the 3 points? Is it clear? Yes. Next important here is, generally when you are dealing with styles, one more basic point is the rules also important. Writing rules are important, embedding rules also important. Writing rules, embedding rules are also major points. Like, for example, see, suppose I am writing an link here, relation is equal to style sheet. href is equal to, so heading, this is in styles headings.css. So this is style sheet, external style sheet. It is applied. External style sheet is applied. That means we are applying the effect. Heading have this effect. Now I am writing for heading. I am writing here. So style tag. That means can we have inline and embedded both in a single file? You can have, no problem. You can have. Here also for heading, I defined color as some red. So now the concept here is which one is going to affect. So which one is going to affect? We have written both of them. Then you can see that. So the red color is affected. That means embedded is given priority here and it will give embedded. And I said text align as left. Again, you can see that the text alignment is changed to left. That means you have the same effects in CSS also. You are bringing from an external file and configuring it. And you are defining this, you are applying this. So now another doubt here is, I move this style. So, and you can see it is coming from this heading. I write above the style sheet. Above that, first I am writing this one. After that, I am applying this one. Applying this one. You can see that this will apply. That means, so if you are using inline and embedded, and they have the same effects, which one will apply? Which one will apply? What do you say? Which one will apply? So which one will apply? If you write both embedded and external file, which one will apply? That means the recent, whatever is defined, it will apply. Understood? The last or the latest, whatever you configure, that will apply. If embedded style is the last, then it will apply. If external style sheet is the last, that external style sheet will be used. But remember one point here. Suppose that means it is now applying this one. Now in the style we have background color. Background color I defined as, suppose, yellow, like this. I defined background color yellow. Now you can see that. So it is applying background color yellow. That means if same effects are used, the last defined effects will be working. If different effects are there, then both will be working. Understood? If different effects are there, both will be working. Both will be working. Everyone got a clarity here? Understood? Right? That means if different effects are there, there is nothing like priority. Both effects will apply. So if same effects are there, then the latest one will apply. Now, if I write inline also, for example, suppose here